What is going on, guys? Thank you for coming out so early in the morning. I'm going to take my first look here with NASCAR Heat 4, which I am excited about. For many of you that know, I did a lot with NASCAR Heat 3, even though it wasn't very successful on my channel. But I did actually spend a good amount of time racing. So I was a pit crew member for several NASCAR teams, most of which I'm sure many of you would recognize, not recognize at this point. But I did get to work with some great drivers like Boris Said and Terry Labonte. That was probably least driver somebody's heard of. Worked a little bit with Robbie Gordon for a while. So definitely enjoyed my time in NASCAR. Unfortunately, 704 Games seems less than willing to work with me, so I guess we won't see that coming through, so to speak. So I don't think this stream is going to be up very long because, as many of you know, it's 12:05 in the morning here, and believe it or not, I still have a job, so I will be working tomorrow at some point. Try to load up my chat here real quick, and then we'll run a few quick laps. Probably not the quickest laps because I haven't worked on a setup, but the goal is to get quick laps. What is going on, Bengals Report, Demon Slayer, Miami Sports Network? Who else would I drive other than Paul Menard's car? I have a funny story about Paul Menard. We'll go to Atlanta, a track I was very fond of. I did a lot of work at Watkins Glen, and I had this picture of Robbie Gordon and Paul Menard, and I had it blown up to like a 20 by 30. I always meant like it frame it in my house or something like that. And, I had Robbie Gordon there to sign it as trailer, and Robbie and Paul were always good friends, and they were close. John Menard, Paul's dad, actually did a lot for Robbie and his engines, so turns out that he was there, and I couldn't have him not sign this thing because he was standing right there. It'd be kind of awkward, and he signed right over the Home Depot, and it didn't initially click with me why he did that, but naturally he did that because Menards is a competitor to the Home Depot. So I'm going to go silent here, and we'll run a few laps, and I'll let you guys know what I think about this, and maybe we'll go to one or two more tracks. The garage layout is much better, I'll tell you that. I definitely like that. So I'll try to loosen the car up a little bit. Oh, right here.
Clear the pit, hammer down.
Not in one or two, but definitely wide open. The force feedback on my wheels seems substantially less. I'll try to just throw right over here. That looks much better.
was your best lap ever. You're all clear up top. That car ahead of you is pitting. Keep it up now. That was your best lap ever.
Oh, dear Lord. Well, the end wasn't what I expected, but other than that, the car felt way too stable. I will say, the initial handling of the car was better than last year's. You might have heard my cat. My cat came in to spot for me just for a minute. It felt really stable, so I don't want to say it's what I expected. I think I expected it to feel a little bit better than last year's game, and I didn't really see that there. The car doesn't give you a lot of feedback. My wheel feedback is turned down pretty low, but one and the same, I wasn't getting a lot of responsiveness when I went down into the turns as if the car would be pushing back against it. And it's hard to get these cars to feel fast because they don't feel like they're down in the track. And when you don't feel like a car is kind of sunk down in the track and you don't have a consistent idea of when the car is going to break loose, it really starts to make the competitive races they do a struggle because it's hard to kind of find a rhythm for yourself. So I was hoping this year that they would actually do a little bit more to improve how sensitive the cars were, and it looks like they didn't do that, so at least from that one. So let's go back out and we'll try, I'll pull my phone up for a minute. I'm trying to use my wheel to do this, so confirm. We'll try a different track. We'll go to Dover. Smash other cars. Now, I did adjust the setup. Hit some cars just for fun. All right, we'll go to Dover, and I'll hit some cars just for fun. Dover should be a lot more aero sensitive. I feel like you need really good PS4 to play. I don't know that you'll need a good PS4. I mean, I pretty much have the original one, so I don't think... Can you lower the game volume? I wasn't talking during the race, so but I can try to lower the volume when we get into this. I can't lower the game volume. I can't believe you guys can't hear me over you can't hear me over this nothingness. Somebody just real quickly say you can't hear me over this nothing. All right, I didn't see any response. I can hear you. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna see how this one works. I'm not gonna talk while I drive. I can't do both. We'll run a few laps here and then we'll see how it feels. Overall, I wouldn't say that I'm impressed with the differences between this year and last year. So. Making it this loose, on the exit of the turn, I should definitely be able to sense a difference. So we'll see what happens. Okay, I don't know whose definition of a loose race car that was, but it is definitely not mine, because that just pushed right in. All right, we'll try this again.
right there. Wow, that was your best lap ever.
Okay, so that actually felt better. One of the things that they need to work on with this track is the banking is it just doesn't hold you the way it should. It's constantly been a problem here. As somebody that set a car up for this track in real life, that rear has to hold up. When you're coming up off the turn, it's literally like driving up a hill. And this game does not have that at all. It literally just kind of floats the car up to the wall. And although a couple times it worked okay, I was able to kind of slide it through. So I had what probably would be respectable lap times with just the base setup out of the box. They have to make it to where the banking holds this car. And until they do that, this game is just going to continue to struggle. I literally drove that corner, which you should not be able to do at Dover, and you should not be able to do at Charlotte. I mean, Atlanta, Charlotte for the same point. They're two totally different tracks, and I literally just drove them the exact same, and the game just did not cater to anything. It's just like, I don't know. It's just like you're driving the car. It's very strange to say that, but I realize not everyone has set up race cars for this track, so they probably don't have the same perspective I do, but at the same time, having that perspective, it's very hard to take this game seriously when it struggles in such simple things. So we'll go ahead, we'll do one more. To me, it was Daytona that really caused a problem last year with the way the cars handled, especially in packs. So we're going to take a look at this. I think the AI was a bit of a struggle, so hopefully we'll roll out here with some cars, and I'm just probably going to leave the setup just a little bit loose, and then we'll go forward from there. I love dirt racing, the Cam Badger. I don't like it in this game, but I think it's fantastic. And then I will spend some time with this game tomorrow, and we'll see what the career mode is. I hate to say this. Well, I don't hate to say this. The career mode is actually deeper than Madden's franchise mode. So, all right, let's see what these other drivers do. And then, this is also a track that I've set cars up for. So I thought the cars were overly sensitive at the super speedways last year. So if that's supposed to be Paul Menard, they did a very poor job. I'll say that. I really wish one game would get it right where all the cars sit, like at the end of pit lane in a cluster, and wait for everyone to go out together. So we'll see if that happens. Of course not. Of course it doesn't happen.
Okay, get back in there. Let's go. Going down low now. Still there. Driver, that's a fast lap right there. Careful, still there. Still there. Wow, that was your best lap ever. Still there. Stay high up here. Careful, still there. Got room, you're clear there.
All right, so got a little bit of draft there. I guess I almost kind of liked how that worked with the two Fords, but I really wish the AI would have been a little bit better. I feel like if your teammates there, like the 21 and the 22 are, then they should be assisting and when you come up, whether it's practice or not. The brakes on this car, I don't know what they dialed the brake bias at on this thing, but I was 100% full on the brake, and nothing. It just literally would not slide. So, all right, before we get off here, I know everyone wants to see one accident, so let me go out here and see if I can't cause a Jimmy Johnson and see what happens.
Clear the pit, hammer down. Drop your speed, driver. You're clear of pit road. Outside, outside. Car outside, hold your line. Inside.
I feel like that was uneventful. But at the same time, I don't think there's replays here. But whenever I got on the apron, the car started smoking horrendously, which is not right. And then, for whatever reason, when I did actually run in the back of Kyle Busch, it clearly did nothing to him. Something, stick to Madden, buddy. Okay, Nick. So, I don't know, man. I'm not terribly impressed. The way this game drives, it's just, you literally should not be able to go from Charlotte to Dover to Daytona and feel like the car is the same every single way. Like, there was no... I didn't turn my wheel any harder at Dover than I did at Daytona. The draft really didn't affect anything. I know they're not going for a simulation racing game, but at the same time, if you're going to go for a competitive esport game, then I don't know, you have to find some way to differentiate between the tracks and have some type of driver skill come out. So, I won't say that I'm totally disappointed, because I want to see how the actual, I don't think franchise mode, but career mode goes. But I guess I really expected it to focus more on track-specific handling more than anything else this year, and it doesn't seem like that's exactly what this game did. So I don't know. Maybe time will tell, but I can say in all sincerity, in the first half an hour, 3 extremely different tracks, and I wasn't very challenged or impressed with the way the game felt. Which, you know, as somebody that paid money for this game, that pre-ordered this game, that read into everything they said about this game, you know, like I said, I feel like, although I would probably have a higher standard than most people, having worked in the sport for 8 years, 9 years, I know that as a fan, a lot of people want this game to be in a better place than it already is. So I also know you guys came out here to a live stream at 12 o'clock at night to watch a game I never stream or show on this channel. So I certainly appreciate every one of you that came out. Sean, Sam, Demon, Nick, Soft Drink Sports was in here, Mike James, Chevy Roll 48, Jiffy LP, Silencer, Crytep Coscos, 3-star Edits Vine. I'm trying to go back through here and see if anybody else popped in. NJ3007. If anybody didn't type anything that wants me to appreciate them coming out. OSU Rocks is always here. Kenny Ribbon. Anybody that didn't get their name said, just post and I'll scroll down in a minute and I'll definitely get you. Goldie. I think that's pretty much back to the beginning of this. Let's see if I can catch up with anybody. Michael Jacobson. Darrell Robert MCD. The next MMA show already went up, man. It was yesterday. We did UFC 242. 5% tint. Not in Maryland, buddy. Gabriel Noguez. 3KDXYY. Oh my gosh, screw me up with those names. Lucas E. World. If you guys didn't know, Social Blade has a way of rating channels now. They kind of changed up their thing. Frosty Coconuts is here as well. And right now, because of you guys, I have a top 30,000 gaming channel in YouTube in the U.S. So that's really cool, and that's all because of you guys, people like Tristan Khan. What time do I have to wake up for work? Oh, only in about 5.5 hours. So certainly I could go right to sleep after this lackluster game. So with that said, man, I really do appreciate you guys coming out. And don't worry, I will be back. We'll do some live streams, and we'll get Madden all squared away, hopefully. Oh, Gabriel, I know. Well, okay, Gabriel. Gabriel's on Twitter. Yeah, go Chiefs. No, not really. Go Colts, Lancelot 007. I appreciate you guys, Cam, and now everybody's posting. But I do appreciate you guys, and you know I will be back very shortly with more content.